So let's start by setting up. So basically what you need to do, you just need to create a folder at any directory and then just drag and drop it inside your code editor, inside your IDE basically. So I'm using anti-gravity. You can also use VS Code or even Cursor. So basically here now I have this. Okay, so here now we are going to create two folders. The first one will be backend, then the second one will be front end. Okay, so we are going to get started by actually doing the backend, then we are going to do the front end after that. So here I'm going to click on the backend, then I'm going to right click, then open in integrated terminal. Okay, so for this we are going to use burn. So you can search burn. Okay, you can search burn or just head over to burn.com, and then here you'll see how you can install burn if you are using Windows. If you are using Mac or Linux, you can see what you can do here. Okay, so then here you can see why basically we are using burn. You can see compared to others how it is doing. Then because we are using it in Express, you can see here it is quite good compared to Node, even Deno. Okay, and then you can see it on other parts. Okay, so then we are going to head over to the docs. So here you are going to search for burn init. Okay, on your left side you are going to see burn init. So you can see here this is what basically we want. So here I'm going to copy this part here because I already have the folder. Then here I'm going to paste it right here, then I'm going to hit enter. Okay, then here let me increase the font a little bit. So here I'm going to choose blank by using the downward arrow key. So here I'm going to choose blank, and then here it's going to create and install whatever it is on our Node.js. Okay, so basically what is there is basically TypeScript. Okay, so basically here if you run this part here, so let me close this and then clear this and then here you can see we are getting burn. You are getting hello via burn. Okay, so that one is coming from index.ts. Okay, so here it is. So right there. So the next thing we are going to do, we are going to install the packages that we are going to use. So basically here the first one basically we need is basically Express. So you can do burn add Express, or you can say burn I Express. Okay, then you can search for Express. So here it is. You can see what basically what it is. Basically here I think they have a description somewhere, I think. Okay, but you can see the features and the import why we are basically using it. It is robust, has robust routing, focuses on high performance, super high test coverage, and the rest. Okay, then here you can see the latest version. So okay, so it is already done. So I'm going to clear this part here, and then here inside here, because I would like us to work on server, I'm going to rename this one here server. Okay, just like that. And then inside here I'm going to create like that. And then the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to import Express. Okay, like that. So here when you have imported it like this, you will see that here you are getting an error. So this is because we don't have the types yet. So we just need to copy this, try npm I save. So basically you just need this part here. Okay, then here we can say burn can say ban, then dash dash, that is dash dash save underscore, okay, sorry, dash dev, and then at the type stroke express. Then you can see the error have disappeared. Okay, so here now what we need to do is just have consts, okay, app express. So we can give this app some types. So you can say it is of type application coming from express. Okay, and make sure you have type in front of it to make sure you define it as type. Okay, and then here we can also define the port that we'll be using. You can say port equal to, we can just, for now you can just say 4000, or let's do 500. I'm using 4000 on the current project. So then like that, we have these two now which we just need to use. And then now we can say, we can start the server. Okay, so here we can say app.listen, and then you can have this part here. Okay, .listen, then here you pass the port to make sure that it is running on that port. Okay, and then here you can console log to make sure the user knows where that the server or the app is running. Okay, so open the terminal once more, head over to hit Control P, then head over to package.json. So here you'll see that this is all we have. Then here you can say server. Okay, then you can try what we had done earlier and see if it is going to work. So here you can say server. Okay, so then here you can see it is also working. So basically for this part here, you won't be able to see, for example, here I make this change here, you won't be able to see any refresh or reload whenever you make any changes. For that we are going to use Nodemon, so whereby you can just say ban add Nodemon, you can search for Nodemon. Okay, you can see Nodemon is a tool that helps developers develop Node.js based application by automatically restarting the Node application when file changes. Okay, so you can see here, so here it is, and then you can see the latest version. Okay, so you can see even it has 11 you can see it has 11 million downloads. Okay, so here now we have that. So head over inside your package.json, and then here we are going to have script. Okay, close it like that, then have a comma there, so a script object. And then inside here we are going to say something like start. You can say start server because that is basically what we are doing. Then here we can say node. Basically, let's see if they have any explanation how to do it. So basically here it is. Okay, so basically let's see. Then here that is 5000, and then here you can just say that is TS. Let's see if it is going to run, but I don't know. Let's see. Okay, basically I think this one you can just say like that. Okay, and then here you can just say ban start server. Okay, and then you can hit that, so you can see TS not recognize as an internal or external command. Okay, so for that what we need to do, we need to do something here whereby we just need to execute like that. Then here you just need to say burn run. Okay, then you can remove the localhost at the end. Okay, so you can have it like this. So let's see if this one here is going to work. So now you can see it is running because burn basically recognizes the TypeScript. Okay, you can work with the TypeScript when working with burn. It is that easy. So there is another option that you can also work with. This one here, that is watch. Okay, basically this one here, which is watch. Okay, basically like that. And then you can see here it is restarting. Okay, then here when I come here and do watch, so you can see it is okay. Then here when I save, I don't know, maybe inside here you can see it is also restarting. Okay, can also work with that. Okay, but I usually prefer Nodemon. Okay, this one here. Okay, just like that. So the next thing that we are going to do, maybe we can just arrange we can have a different structure here instead of the one that we have here. Maybe you can have everything that we have inside a source folder, then inside there we can move our server there. Okay, then we're going to have an error. Okay, so you're going to come here and say it is coming from stroke SRC. So you can have it like this. I think it is going to work like this. Okay, so now you can see it is working. Okay, you can even head over to our server there. Okay, so now the next thing, we are going to see how we can protect our backend. So inside our SRC here, we are going to get started by protecting ourselves using CORS. You can search for CORS. Okay, so here it is. So you can see CORS is a Node.js middleware for Express/Connect that sets CORS response headers. Okay, so we are going to use this one here. So you can open another terminal instead of always closing the current one. Then maybe you can just minimize it like that. Then here you can say burn add CORS. Okay, like that. So then here we are going to import CORS. Okay, from CORS. Okay, so you're going to get an error because we don't have the types. Okay, then you are going to see I'm going to install it here. So we are missing I, like that. Then it is done. Okay, then we don't have any errors. Okay, so here you're going to have it just above our listen, so that we make sure that everything that we are doing falls inside our basically runs before we have the upload the listen. Okay, so here we are going to say can have a comment here and say middlewares. Okay, and then here we are going to say app.use. So basically app.use basically means that you want this part here to be run basically when our app runs. Okay, so we don't have to actually maybe call call this route, basically it will run whenever our app is running. Okay, so that's why we how you can use. Okay, maybe you even have you can say maybe maybe you have your upload routes. Basically you want them to run even before you call that route. Basically you can use. Okay, and then here we can say course. Okay, then here we can have an object inside here, and then we can define a few origins. Okay, so basically this depends with what you want to do. Okay, so here this here is wrong, it should be like that, course. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so here they should not be having this curly bracket here and also here. Okay, so it should be like this. So here you can define your trusted origins there. Then to make sure that you know if the user is authenticated, you can pass credentials to true. Then you can pass also methods and route headers, okay, if you want. So basically if you don't define some methods here and you start using them on the front end, basically they won't work because they are not allowed, and even the headers. Okay, so because we have already protected ourselves using these two routes, basically we can just comment this one, these two there. Okay, then the next one will be helmet. So basically helmet, you can say npm. Okay, so helmet is an essential Node.js package that secures your Express application by setting various HTTP response headers. Okay, so you can see it is also protecting our routes, okay, by passing a few headers. Okay, so here I'm going to add this comment here for course. Basically you can see so that when you're coming back to this, you know what course does. And then here when you hover on course, I don't know, this one here doesn't have any comments, but basically this is what it does. Okay, so the next one will be helmet. I will leave a comment there. You can see set security headers. Okay, then you can pass helmet, and then you can pass just that. Okay, then we need to install helmet. And then we need to import it. Okay, then this one here need to be inside an object. Okay, just like that. Okay, so the next thing we can do, I can show you is the parsers. So the parsers, so basically, so you can see this one here, we don't need the types, but when you hover on helmet, also they don't have any comments. Okay, so now we can have a few parsers that we use. Basically the most important ones, we can say maybe there are two of them, the cookie parser and the JSON parser, because cookies mostly you use them with authentication, and then for JSON maybe you will get a JSON maybe from something like Stripe, and also sometimes people require URL encoded. we'll also have that one. So here you can search for cookie parser. Can basically see what it does. Basically, this simple pass HTTP request cookie. Okay, that's simple. So we're gonna start by installing it. And then like that. Sorry about that. And then we need to import it. So then here you can see we need the type or the types. Okay, so there it is. Okay, sorry, we don't need whatever it is. And then you can see we don't have any errors now. I will have just paste this parser, and then you can see basically what I have just told you what it does basically. And then you can see for Express .json, basically it is already we have it inside our Express. Okay, so for that one I just copy it for you. Here it is. It is this simple also. And then also for the URL encoded, also it is coming from it is also coming from Express. Okay, so we just need to call it. Okay, and then they will be run when our app runs, because we are using use. Okay, so actually we can do whatever it is being recommended here, a test route. Okay, you can head over to HTTP, this one here, and then maybe 500 or 5000, sorry. Then here you can see it is working. Okay, here it is. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is basically show you how you can log your development logs or the output logs whenever maybe we do something like this one here, because we are using get. You should see something like 200 right here. So let me show you what we'll be doing. We'll be searching for Morgan, not this Morgan here, but Morgan npm. This one here, you can see request HTTP request logger middleware for Node.js. Okay, yeah, so I will start with the comments since we have just talked about it. Right there, that's simple. And then here we are going to say if process dot env dot node env equal to development, then we are going to have Morgan, that is app.use, then Morgan dev. Okay, then we can install Morgan, ban, add Morgan, then we can install import it and see if we have any type issue, of which we do. Then do here, then we can do ban, then install it, install the types. Okay, so you're going to see that is not going to work. I will explain just in a bit. So come here and refresh like that, and then you can see we don't have any loggers. That is because we haven't loaded our env variables. And to load our env variables, we usually use .dev. Sorry, that is .env. So right here you can see is a zero dependency module that loads environment variables from an env file into a process.env. Okay, so for that I will come here. Basically we can start by actually importing it, installing it, whereby you can do ban add, then we can do .env and then we can have it as the first thing here. Okay, then we can import it, right there. Okay, then you can save. So here they have been loaded. Okay, and then head over to backend and then create a new file, call it .env, and then inside here we are going to have .env, that is Nodemon, then it's going to be development like that, then maybe something else, maybe I'm missing port. We're going to do 5000 also, and then yeah, so here we can say process env dot, or we can say something like that. Okay, so yeah, so now we can bring the terminal back. Then so you can see now environment variables have been injected. So maybe we can just refresh. So here you can see get a 4 that you can see Morgan now is working. Okay, so now we have tested and we have seen that everything is working. So the next thing we can do, maybe we can just have a global error. Actually this one here, most of the time, because I'm catching the errors using try and catch, most of the times I actually don't use it, but it is also important to have it. So here it is, with a lot of errors without me knowing where they are coming from. Overall, whatever argument type error. Okay, I do up dot, let's see where the error is coming from. Use okay, then here we can have as error, and then requests. So requests should be coming from Express, this one here. Then here this one should be response, and then this one here should be next. So let's import response coming from Express, and then next maybe next function. Okay, so here you have all of the types, and then here you can see I have auto completed, and then here you can see I'm checking for status code, and then is equal to 200. Then you can see I'm using an array there. Then response.status, I passed the status there, and then that is I return the responses res.json with an error, that is the error message, and the stack. So you can say something like that. So I have saved, and then here maybe I'm going to do something like then see. Okay, maybe it is somewhere else. Okay, okay, as I said, this part here actually I have never used it really, but basically I think it is also important that you have it. So for this one here, now you can see it is returning an object with that is a response status of 200, and then now JSON, and then status success hello world. Okay, and then here maybe you can have, okay, I think also you can have not found. Let's see not found what it will do. Okay, it have returned this one here. So maybe for an error, maybe how can I make an error here? Not found, maybe I don't know. Maybe this error here only appears on the response. Okay, because basically here we are using response. Okay, so that's why basically I have never seen it most of the time, because I'm catching most of the errors on the front end using basically on my API routes using try and catch. Okay, so if I could see how I could make an error here, but it is okay. Okay, it is okay the way it is. So for the next part, basically we'll work with Better Auth. So to work with Better Auth, first we need to connect our database, because we'll be using MongoDB and Prisma. So what you can do, you can search for MongoDB with Prisma ORM. Then this part here, that is the quick Prisma ORM with MongoDB under 10 minutes. Okay, so here you can read all of that, but the most important part is this one here. Okay, that MongoDB is not supported on MongoDB is not supported on version 7. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to scroll down for this installation part here. Okay, hereby you just need to copy whatever is here. You can see they have already defined the version here. Okay, so I just copy it and paste it there. It's going to take a moment just to install everything. And then the next thing you just need to copy that one also, then scroll down, don't need anything up there, then we'll just use this one after we are done. So it is already done, so can clear the terminal and actually paste the other one, then hit enter. So it will just take a moment, then we can come here and copy this one here. Okay, you can see here it will set up our database using MongoDB, and where we want our Prisma, that is our generated Prisma or client to be created at. So as you can see, it is done. So I clear the terminal and then paste the other one, then hit enter. So for this one here, it's going to take just a moment because we need a few files and folders to be created for us. So as you can see, it is done. Okay, so here our new file to get started. Here you can see we have now Prisma, that is prisma.config.ts. so here you can see it is. Should make sure that it is importing that is .env stock config, and actually you have all of this the same way we have it here, and then inside Prisma here you can see here we have this. Okay, then here we have this part here. Okay, you can remove that one there, then you can hit save. Okay, so make sure here you have Prisma, and then here, because you're using version 6, you can see Prisma schema file contains a data source URL which is not supported in Prisma 7. So just pin this workspace to Prisma 6. So just click the button and then the error here will disappear. Okay, yeah, so now since we have Prisma, and then here we have a source folder, so what now we can do is head over to, we can get the database URL, so we can get the database URL which we don't have. So you can head over to mongodb.com. yeah, so just give it a moment to load. Yeah, so here it is. So click get started, and then here I'll be using GitHub, that is Google to continue. So if it is your first time, you're going to be prompted with your first project, which you are going to create the first schema. Okay, but for me, since I have a few projects, I'm going to head over to view all projects, then I'm going to create a new project. Here I'm going to create a new project, then here I'm going to call it MERN Better Tutorial, then like that. Then here I'm going to click next, then I'm going to click create project. So here we are going to create our cluster. So if it was your first time, this was the page you could have seen for the first time. I think so, if I'm correct. Okay, so you're going to choose free, and then here you can leave the name as it is. Then here you can choose whichever you want. You can go with the AWS, and then whatever it is, select there. You can choose whichever country is closest to you, but here you can hover on this whatever this tree leaf. Basically they say basically it is for if it has this part here, it means that there is some conservation happening. So can here it is. Okay, that is low carbon emissions. So basically you can do that if you want, and then here you can select create, then here say all. Okay, this one here, this one here, then this one here, then verify. So now we have created our cluster. Then here we're going to create our user here. So say create. So make sure you have the password. You can say password. I think you're not going to see it again, so make sure you have it there. So then connection method, and then library. Then here you can say show password, then copy, Then here just replace this one here with your URL. Okay, just like that. Then there we have the database running. Then you can say done. So after a moment you're going to see a button to browse your collection. So you can wait for that, but we should continue, whereby you're going to head over to Better Auth. Okay, that is better-auth.com. okay, so here you can see a readme. Basically you can see how that lives inside your app. That is composable, plugin based, and built to scale, powering from weekend to project to the biggest customer and enterprise up to the planet. So basically a simple description there. So to set up Better Auth nowadays very easy. So you can just copy this npx auth in it, or you can just use prompt. There it is, and then you can view the full prompt, or use MCP, or use skills. Okay, so for me I'm going to use the CLI, then copy it, then open our terminal, then clear the terminal, then I'm going to paste it, then I'm going to give it a moment. So now we have this. Okay, install Better Auth. So would you like to install Better Auth using npm? We're going to say yes. So add required environment variables, say yes. So you want to generate a secret? Yes. We're going to hit enter, and then here for this part here, since we have our own, remember we have localhost 5000, this one here, just paste it here like that, then hit enter, then create a Better Auth instance. So yeah, this one here, and then would you like to configure database? So we are going to say yes. Then here for our case we are going to use Prisma, and then they don't have MongoDB here, but basically don't worry, it is there. So for now just select MySQL. Would you like to install the foreign packages? So we are going to say no. And then would you like to generate the database schema? So you can say yes. And then configure email and password, you can say yes. And then would you like to set up socials? You can say yes. So for our case we are going to be doing it with Google only, so you can say Google, then enter. Then the file prisma already exist, do you want to override it? Say yes. And then would you like to generate auth client configuration file? Say yes. We're going to drag and drop it to the front end later on. This one here, you can see it is named client, so that means it is only used on the front end, not on the it usually used on the client side, not the server side. Okay, so hit enter, and then give it a moment to install the dependencies, then we'll be right back. So it is done. So then here for this part here we can say no, and then here you can see it is done now. So we can clear the terminal, and then head over to here. You can see we need these two, we'll get them later on. Then here we have auth, so there it is. Then here we have auth for the server, so here you can see there it is. So for this one, make sure you change it to 5000. Okay, it should be like this. Okay, and then for this one here, make sure you select it like this. Okay, so here you can see MongoDB. So okay, So you can see it is like that. So then for this one here, you won't be using this one here. This one here won't work. So be using Prisma, which you are going to create inside lib. I'm going to say prisma.ts. Then here the first two things we need to import are the .env/config, and then we need to import the Prisma client. You can see it is coming from the generated. Okay, so we don't have it yet. Okay, so we are going to have it just a little bit, but here also you should see that we have the user. Okay, you can see also we have a few errors there. That is because it generated for MySQL. So I will show you how we can fix that. Let's close this one here, and then here you can see we don't have this one here. So then after that we need to const Prisma, then here we can say equal to new Prisma client. Okay, then we can execute it like that, then we can export it as so, just like that. Then you can save. Then this one here can import it coming from Prisma, so it should be like that. Okay, then also for the auth you need to also to add trusted origin. If you don't do that, it is not going to work, because it doesn't that is Better Auth doesn't know which origin to trust. So make sure you add whatever you want. Okay, just like that. Okay, then you can close it, and then here now I would like to change this one here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove everything there. Okay, like that. Then I'm going to drag this up here, then I'm going to head over to Better Auth. Okay, then head over to the docs. So it takes a long time, you can just drag and drop it there. Okay, so here you can see, you can head over to integration. Okay, sorry, that is the databases. Then head over to MongoDB or Prisma, then scroll down, and then you will see this part here, that is burn x auth at latest generate. Okay, just copy it like that, and then paste it. Okay, and then it is not going to work at the moment, because I think we are lacking generate, or maybe it is going to work. Let's see. Because we don't have generate folder, I don't think if it is going to work. So let's see. So as expected, you can see we don't have, basically it is saying we don't have this part here. Okay, so what you can do, you can just run burn x Prisma generate. Okay, it's going to generate the folder. Just give it a moment, it's going to generate the folder right here. So as expected, you can see we have the generated, and then here we have the client, the one that it was lacking. Okay, so I'm going to clear the terminal, then repeat the same generate, that is for auth. Okay, so let's just give it a moment to do its thing. So here we have it. So you can see the same question we had earlier on. So you can just say yes, and then now you can see we have the a clean schema. Okay, so here you can close it, and then here you can see also we don't have the error. Close it. Then here I usually like to delete the generated, then delete it permanently, then run that is burn x prisma db push. Okay, so it will push our schema to the database, and then also it will generate the folder. Okay, so basically we are missing the database name, so head over to env, then after before the question mark here you can give it a name. I will say MERN DB, and say Better MERN DB. Okay, then save, then try once more. So then allow, then you can see everything have been pushed, and then also we have the generated folder as you can see here. Then when you head over to your DB, okay, refresh, so here you can see browse corrections, loading explore line, whatever, and all of that. So here you can see our database, and then here you can see our tables. Okay, so great work. So the next thing we are going to do, we are going to integrate our Better Auth inside our backend. Okay, to do that we are going to head over inside to Prisma, and then head over to integration. Okay, then scroll down until you find Express. So scroll down, so here we'll see how you can do it. So the first thing, two things we need to do is just import these two. Head over inside server, then import these two. You can see here we have this part here. Make sure it is coming from lib, just like that, and also we have Better Auth installed. Make sure you are using Node. Okay, and then make sure that we are using this part here. Okay, copy it, and make sure mounted Express.js middleware after Better Auth handler. Okay, make sure it is after. Okay, so that is, make sure that is JSON, express.json. This one here comes after, so you can have Better Auth here. So since you're using Express version 5, so you can remove this one here. To make sure that you have the same version, head over to package.json and find Express, the second one, this one here. You can see mine is version 5. So if yours is less than is actually 4, you can use this one here. Okay, but for our case, yeah, we need to use this one here. Okay, like that. Okay, so you can see Splash usually catches all routes that are under API stroke auth. Okay, so can have a simple comment for this, and then here we can say Better Auth, then a simple comment for the Splat. Okay, then remove it, that one. Okay, so here it is, and then save. Then you can scroll down. Okay, so this one here, as I told you earlier on, It is not a must that you pass methods, but make sure if you do, make sure you pass all of these because they are used by Better Auth. And make sure you pass in Better, that is credential, because allows credentials, that is will allow cookies and authorization headers. Okay, then you can scroll down. Then we can have this simple route. Okay, and then we can have it here. Current user profile, and paste it there. And then since we have auth, we just need to import from headers. Okay, you can see it is coming from Better Auth stroke node. Okay, and then scroll down. So there it is. Then you can give requests and REST types. Okay, then save. And then here you can try this after it finishes running. So there it is. So now you can see also you are missing the credentials, but it is okay. So here you can now test, which you can see now. That means we are getting 404. That means it is working. The session here, that is API, that is Better Auth API is successfully working. So with that, now we can head over to the front end and make sure that we set up the front end and work on the email password. Okay, so let's continue from there. So before we set up front end, basically we can test that is Better Auth, that is created with email and password. So you can search for Bruno and then install it. After installing it, you will see this this icon right here. Click on it. So here, so let me delete this one here. Okay, so I will also delete this one here. It is also for the Bruno. So here I will create a new collection. So this is where we are if it is your first time. And then here you can say MERN Better Auth. Okay, then select location. So for me, I'm going to select this project. Then I'm going to select like that. So then I'm going to create, so like that. So when you head over to your project, here you should see this that is MERN Better Auth. Okay, and then head back to this part here, and then click plus, then HTTP. Okay, so then here now we can select which one we want to do, which I believe is posts. Then head over to head over to this part here, copy the URL. Okay, so we don't know which URL we should use, so head over to authentication, that is email and password. Here we should be looking for a route, this one here, okay, which is posts, and the server you can see it is still posts, that is sign up with email and password. Then you're going to choose this one here, so that's the body. So here we're going to choose this one here, but first we need to head over to the server and make sure that before we pass those ones we need to have API auth. Okay, so like that. So it should be like that. That is stroke API stroke auth stroke sign up stroke email. Okay, and then here we need to pass a body, so of which we're going to copy this one here. which is going to be a JSON. Okay, then we can do prettify. Okay, because this comment should not be there. Maybe prettify. Okay, so here so pass error on line 2 column genders, I don't know. Okay, should be JSON. Okay, it is okay. Okay, okay, I know the issue. So basically this one here should be strings. Okay, I can remove callback. So basically also the image is not required. So basically just remove up to that point, then you can remove the trailing comma, then you can prettify. So yeah, so those ones are necessary. So and then click enter there. So you can open our terminal. So then here you can see the user basically was created. So when you head over to your users, you should see Gendo. Okay, so that is another way that you can use to test basically to test your API, that is Better Auth API. Okay, so here I think inside, okay, maybe and then here you can say Better Auth email password sign up. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so when you click on it, you should see basically that. Okay, and then to select, you can see that one. So also you can maybe create another one here, HTTP. Let's close this one here. When you use this one here, maybe refresh this one here. Okay, like that, then hit enter. So now you can see the signed in user. Okay, so great. So now we can set up the front end. So which you're going to select the front end and then open integrated terminal. As it opens, head over to vite.dev. Okay, then head over to the guide. Okay, then scroll down until you see this part, that is scaffolding your first Vite project. Okay, then select burn. Then we are going to use, that is burn create Vite. Then you are going to paste it there, and then you're going to do dot, then hit enter. So then here we are going to select the framework, which will be React. And then another framework here which you're going to select is React router version 7, which you're going to select there. Okay, yeah, so here we're going to give it a moment to do its thing, then we'll be right back. So here we're not going to initialize a new Git repository, so we're going to say no. And then install dependencies with ban, yes. Would you like to add agent skills? You can add agent skills, so maybe you can use them later on. So just give it a moment to install the dependencies, then we will be right back. So after a few seconds it was done. So here we can run ban dev, then hit enter. So give it a moment to spin up the project. We can close this one here. And then here you can head over to the localhost, that is 5173. Then here you can see it. Okay, so the next thing that I would like us to set up is Shadcn UI. Basically this one here will be just for the design purposes. Mostly we won't focus on the design, we'll focus on the MERN stack and Better Auth. Okay, then if you want maybe a project like this, maybe with the design and everything, maybe we can have that one later on. So for the CLI we are going to choose this one here like that. Make sure you choose ban. Then here let's close this one here because we don't have anything important learning. Paste it there, then hit enter. Yep, then give it a moment. So now you can choose Radix or Base. We are going to go with the recommended one. Then here can choose whichever you want. Basically I really don't know. For this one here I would like to go with Lucid icon and enter, maybe that one. And then it's going to, actually before we do this, I'm going to close this, open my terminal. I would like to edit import alias, which is inside ts config. Scroll down up to this point here, that is the paths, and then change this one to @. Okay, then save. So I'm doing this because Shadcn UI basically usually chooses whichever is there, and then we want to use that is @ instead of whatever was there. So now we continue, choose base, then here you can choose rumor, and then just give it a moment to do it, to install the dependencies, then we'll be right back. So it is done. So when you head over to our project right here, so we have already closed this one here, so you can do ban dev once more. As it runs, you can open our sidebar here, then here you can visit any one of these, but here you can see here we have Shadcn UI icons, and then also here we also have that is at Shadcn UI /tailwind that is .css. Okay, it is perfectly fine. And then I'm going to close this one here like that. And then here I'm going to refresh this one here, so you should have light like this. Okay, so what you're going to do here, I would like us to change this one to dark. We'll be using dark, so here I will have class name, then you can have dark, because I don't want to concentrate on the other things. Basically they aren't important as basically as designing whatever you are, as basically as doing what you want with Better Auth and MERN. Okay, so that is Express of the backend. Okay, so here the first thing I would like us here to have is basically before we have that one, basically I would like us to add a component which is input, which we'll use to have on our, so let me show you instead. Shots here and then blocks. So here, because since we are using sign up and sign in, you can choose login, but basically we'll be using which one? We'll be using this one here maybe, but without this one. Basically with it we'll see. Can check out the code here. We won't be rating all of this, but basically I will provide the code. But basically here we just need to add we have the button, we need the input, and also we need the field. Okay, the rest we'll add them later. So now we can set up the sign in and the sign up page. So we can create them inside our route. Then here we can say auth like that. Then here we can have sign in .tsx. And then also you can have sign up.tsx. okay, then here we can use cons, maybe have autocomplete. So if you don't have autocomplete like me, because I'm using Control Shift plus, okay, so like me, you can add a component, you can add an extension called ES7 plus, okay, this one here, okay. And then as we are here also, you can see the other components other extensions which I'm using. For Prisma, you saw that I had some good theme. Prisma schema, you can see I had this part here. I forgot to show you the extension then, okay. Then when I save, I have a prettier, so that my code is formatted whenever I save. And then also in Tailwind CSS, basically we will use it, but not that much. Then ES7, and then for the theme I'm using Mandak theme, and then for the icons I'm using Fluent icons, okay. Okay, yeah, great. So since we have that installed, so here we can just say RAFCE, then here you can see it in action. Then also here you can say RAFCE, then like that. So open your sidebar, Control B, then inside here we need to head over to the routes, okay. So if you want a tutorial on that is on a React router, basically you can leave a comment there, and I will have one on that is on React router. But for now, I'll just show you a quick way to create a route, which is this way, okay. That is index, that is the home page, okay. Then also you can have maybe another one, maybe like this. So let's see, this part here I have never tested it. Basically, let's head over to the sign in. You can see we don't have anything, okay. Basically, maybe if we have route like that, so maybe stroke hold like that. So there it is. So there it is. Okay, so for this one here, it can be small. There is no caps on the URL. Okay, so like that. Then when you head over to the sign up, the same thing, there it is. Okay, so but for our case we need it in a layout. Okay, so we need to create a layout inside here, whereby you can say layout .tsx, like that. Then we can say out the layout, like that. Then come here and have everything inside a layout, whereby you can say layout that is the first thing we have is the layout, whereby you can say routes stroke auth stroke layout dot that is .tsx, then a comma. Okay, can have autocomplete, then everything inside an array. Okay, like that. So here it will be sign up, sign in, and then we have the URLs there. Sorry, that is the routes where we have the file. Okay, so after saving on the refresh, we should see a 404 now. Now we head over to sign up. Now you should see auth layout. Okay, that means we have wrapped these two layout with one these two routes with one layout that we can use to manipulate both routes. Okay, so we can close it and then head over here, and then here we can import an outlet so that we can be able to see the other routes. Okay, save, then you can see sign up. Okay, so like that. So for this one, we'll create a single file so that we can use it for both sign in and sign up. Here we can say auth form.tsx rafe, so of which it is going to accept one prop, which I think maybe one prop. Let me see. Yeah, one prop, which will be type. Which type is it? Sign in or sign up? Okay, like that. So here we can say type. Then can close it. Then here we can import this on here, like that, like that. And then we are done with it. And then this one here, then also we are done with it. Okay, sign up. Okay, and you head over to the sign in, you also see sign in. Okay, like that. So for this part here, the most important thing that I'm going to provide to talk about is the sign up with the email and password. But for the rest, basically we just need to have the designs. So for the designs, I'm going to start by having a new folder here, which you're going to say global, so that we can concentrate on the Better Auth section. So here I'm going to have this part here, that is custom input, of which I guess we already have here. So sorry, we don't have it yet, my fault. So here we should be having add, like that, bar next, then shall CN at latest add input and field, like that. And then also we need to have the form. Okay, so I just give this one here a moment so that we can also install the form. So as you can see, it is done. So the next thing we're going to do is just add React hook form. Okay, so also we'll be needing another one, which is that is add hook form stroke resolver. Okay, so also it is done. So with that we are done with it. So here is a simple that is input that we can reuse throughout the project if we need so. So here also I'm going to provide the related functions and also that is the schema. So here I'm going to provide them here like that. So then also we need the imports. So also we need the checkbox. So forgot about the checkbox. We see what we will be using it for. So just give it a moment and the error will disappear basically. So as you can see, it is done, but basically we also need Sona, that is for the notification. We can say burn, add Sona, as well as we need, that is the card. So for this part here, as I told you earlier on, we'll drag and drop it here. So head over to the lib and then just drag and drop it into the front end lib. Okay, like that. And then we'll actually talk more, or actually maybe we should actually talk about it right now before I forget. That is up. Okay, then lib, then out client. Okay, so you can see the way it is right now. So the way it is, basically it can't work. Most importantly, we don't have Better Auth, so let's do that. So we can say burn add Better Auth. But that is not it. Basically we need to provide a base URL. Okay, so inside here an object, we are going to say base, hit control space bar. You should see auto completion for you if this part here is done. Okay. So Better Auth React. Okay, so just give it a moment. It is going to be React. Just want to make sure that the import is correct. So yeah, so now you can see we don't have any errors. And then here when you hit control space bar, you should see auto completion for you, that is base URL. Okay, like that. Okay, then you can say 500. Okay, you can remove the rest like that. It should be like that. Okay, that is HTTP localhost 5000. And then for this one here, TypeScript is actually, yeah, so now you can see it right there. Then you can save. So without the base URL, basically it won't work because it doesn't know where it should be looking for the server. Okay, So I'll close it. So now here also you see we don't have any errors. So, and also now we have the form, and also we can have the cons on submit async, and then it is just a simple function. Of which it is going to accept data like that. So basically now I want us to have the functionality, basically the design itself. I'm going to copy everything. So everything is provided on the source code. So basically just need to check out the source code, and then here you can see it, how we are using everything, the design and all of that. And then for the socials, you can say socials like that. Okay, then you can see the way it is. Okay, so that is where the instead of actually editing the sign in and sign up for the design, now we can work on this. We can work on basically we can work on one. Okay, so head over to your layout, then here you can say main like that, and then can give it the following classes. I think these ones here are okay, except this one here. Then here we can say min h like that, and then maybe last three we can give it okay, can give it padding of 6. So there it is. So you are lacking only one thing that I would like us to add, which is when you head over to your root, here you should give it the color, that is bg background like that. So let's see if it is going to be dark, but it seems not, because it is not taking dark seriously. Okay, so let's see if this one here is going to work. So there it is. Can remove this one here. Then here you can say h full, then width full like that. So now we have this. So I also like to usually also like to head over to the button and give it a py of 5. Okay, then save. So now you can see the way it is. So also you can see when you hover, you don't see the pointer or the cursor like this one here. Okay, so head over to the button, this one here, then scroll down, copy this section here, then you can read the reason why if you want to. Then head over to the CSS, that is up CSS, and then here you can have it there. then save. Okay, so now you can see you have it. And then also to rename this tab, you can head over to the home here, copy that part, then paste it here. Then you can edit it like that. Okay, you can remove all of these, basically not necessary. So it can be like that. Then copy it once more. So you can see there. So basically now you should worry on how to sign up. So head over to the email and password where we were earlier on, and then you can see for the client and the server. So since we are for us we are working with MERN Stack, so that means we should use this one here. Okay, if you want to do it on the server and then call the API, we should use this one. Okay, but for our case, this is the best way to do it, because this also is calling the this API. Okay, so copy this one here. So that is out this one here. So first make sure that you set loading is to true. And then here we can maybe use try so that we catch any errors. So then also you can toast, then finally set it to false. Okay, then here I want us to go slowly. So the first thing, we need to make sure if it is sign up like that. Oh sorry, that is sign up. So let's move this one here. So like that. So if it is sign up, basically that is how we know it is sign up. If type is sign up, then you can paste whatever we copied earlier on. Okay, for the errors we already catching them here. And then here for the name should be data dot name. Then for the email it should be email, then password it should be so this one here, let's remove this one here. So because it is undefined, so can add an exclamation mark. So then here you can add, instead of doing this, there is another best way to do it. So you can also remove this one here. So it should be this three. Okay, that is the name, email and password. And then if it is on success, then you can do two things, that is toast and then navigate to the page that you want, of which should be on success function, okay, of which I had forgotten a little bit about, so it should be right there, okay. And then if you have an error, you can just toast there, so it should be just after this, that is a comma, then you can say on error, then you can toast it like that. Remember, not all the time you will have an error, so you can say something went wrong, please try again, like that, okay. So you can remove this one here like that. So I think that is okay. And then instead you can just console log error, that is, you can say sign up error, then you can say comma, then the error, okay. So the next part we are going to do is sign in. So but first let's try sign up, okay. So here it is. So I'm going to choose these ones here, then here I'm going to choose a password, then another, confirm the password. So if they are not the same, you'll see that here I'm going to get an error, the passwords don't match, okay. So like that, okay. Then here I can click create, then you can see loading. So you can see it is done. So you didn't see any toast because we haven't imported the toaster. Head over to the layout, actually root, sorry about that is root, then import the toaster. So you can see the import right there. So close it, so that we can try sign in. So before we try sign in, basically I would like to show you that we have already signed in. That is because when you head over to the auth, okay, it doesn't have that one. So but basically I think we already signed in. So here sign in, okay, I think they don't have they removed that one. So you can know if you are signed in when you head over to the inspect, okay, then head over to the console, okay, that is the application, then the cookies. So here you can see our cookie, so that means we are signed in. So let's add a simple button that we can use to basically sign out. So before we do that, I would like us to head over to the root, okay, then scroll down, then I would like to basically remove all of this, then have them here, most specifically the dark, Okay, it didn't fix that one. Okay, and head over to the sign in. Okay, so let's try this one here. So for the sign in, you can head over to the Better Auth documentation, then scroll down, and then you will find sign in, then copy this one here. Okay, then head over back to Auth form, and then inside here paste it, then remove this part here. Okay, then here you can just remove all of this, just copy all of that, then we'll have them right here. So yeah, like that. Okay, then here you can remove this part here, which will be data dot, that is dot email, and then dot password, then remove the callback, and then make sure you add remember me. Okay, that is the one that we are using, where that is checkbox, this one here. Okay, you can see we are already setting it as boolean. Okay, so save, then head back here, then refresh, then use this one here, then enter your password, then select. So if you're not selected, it will be false, then true, like that, then sign in. So you can see login successful. Okay, so let's see how we can sign out. But before we do that, I would like us to make sure that we protect we make sure that we cannot head over to the sign in page if we are signed in. Okay, so with that we can head over to the layout, this one here. Okay, and then inside here we are going to see how we can use the auth grant. So let's see how we can get the session. Okay, so for the sign out, here it is. Okay, and then you can see how it is. So we are going to use this one here a little bit, or you can try to find also maybe something like session. Okay, so for that one maybe we can get it here. That is the basic usage. Scroll down, and also see sign out, the same concept. So here it is. Okay, you can see basic use session hooks to easily access session data on the client side. Okay, so for the server, basically you saw that you basically use get session. I hope so. Yeah, get session. Okay, so let's close that one. So here I'm going to paste it right there, then I'm going to import all of this. So let me import all the imports. Okay, right there. So refresh basically is whenever you want to refresh the user session, basically it is a function which you can execute it normally like the normal function. Okay, and remove it. And then for the error, basically let me just autocomplete because those are the designs. If pending, basically we have this part, and then error we have this part, and then if we have the session, we can just basically redirect to the home page. Okay. Yeah, for the error, basically you can see it is the normal error, or better, that is better fetch error. Basically it is an error if an object wasn't returned, or basically there was another kind of an error whenever Better Auth was fetching. Okay, so save. So this is also the way basically you should protect your routes. Basically, if you don't want a user that is unauthenticated to visit this page, basically you just need to negate this one here. If you don't have the session, basically redirect the user to the home page. Okay, so yeah, so when I try to head over to the sign in, you will see that this loader there, then I'll be redirected to the home page. So if I do this, that means I can be able to delete it. I can be able to visit the page because I don't have the session. Okay, sorry, I have the session. Okay, so maybe confusing a little bit. This means if I have the session, I want to be redirected to the home page. Okay, this page is basically these two pages are basically you can be able to visit them whenever you don't have the session. Okay, so for example, we have routes. So we have dashboard. For the dashboard, we'll have maybe something like dashboard.tsx. Okay, so this one here. So if I want to protect this route here, I will head over here. Okay, then I will just copy this part here, and then I will save, then import, make sure I import out the client, and then here maybe we can render the session dot user dot name, something like that. Then maybe we can log out. If user is pending, also we can do that. Then for the logout, we can use it to test here. Like that. Then here, so for this one here we can remove this. Then here we can say if you don't have the session, okay, navigate to the home page, all out. Maybe you can say sign in, like that. Then here we can have a simple function whereby you can just say const logout, like that. Then we can copy the function, so also here you can see get session, but basically you need to use an await. Okay, even though it is on the client, so that means maybe it is in a function. You can also try it with client-side data fetching libraries like Tanstack. Okay, so for the next JS and all of that. So here we can try this. We can use it inside a try. Inside there. And then before I forget that, import navigate. And then here like that. Maybe you should head over to the home page or something. And then here we can have catch the error. Then toasts, maybe something went wrong. Please try again. Then make sure you console log the error so that you know where the issue was. Okay, and then here make sure also you toasts dot success. Logged out successfully. Okay, we have the toaster coming from Sona. So there it is. So now make sure we have that route inside our routes. So for our case we don't have this one yet. So for this one here we can say dashboard like that. So let's try visiting dashboard. So you can see we have all of that, we have the user and all of that. What if we log out? So you can see it is not logging me out. Okay, so we didn't use the function. So here we should be saying on click have the logout. Okay, so now refresh, then try logout. So now you can see we can be able to visit sign in, but what if we visit dashboard? Then you can see the effect. So that's how you can protect your route. Then that's how you can log out. Okay, you can see that is out client dot sign out. You can see it has an await. Okay, yeah, so great. So I don't think I'm missing anything. Okay, so we have already tested sign in. Okay, so yeah, so you can see it is working. So let's meet on the next one.